Welcome to day 90 of my spiritual journal with me, with your soul sister, Iona. So welcome to what I call Spiritual Freedom Saturdays on the Soul Legacy TV. Every single Saturday, I go live talking about freedom in your spirituality. This is one of 7 freedoms that I use in my spiritual journal to align my light work and my lifestyle. So I talk about having spiritual business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without being burnt out, and bringing your spiritual freedom into every single area of your spiritual business is just an absolute blessing for me. So if you don't have a journal, grab one. I have what I call my Soul Legacy Journal. This one is a notebook. I call it 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So I am a light worker. I work with light workers. I work with spiritual biz YouTubers to support you in living an intentional life while you serve, while you align your movement, your message, and your money. And so I talk about all things spiritual on a Saturday, my spiritual awakening journey, my spiritual ascension, which is part of this, me sharing this with you, and alchemizing that, right? So those are the stages that I talk about. And so in the Soul Legacy Journal, I talk about using my spiritual journal and this process for, again, the 7 freedoms for living an intentional life, setting soul intentions, having that be your guiding marker. Hey love, how you doing? It says you're not on here. So Robin Nat is on with us live on the Soul Legacy TV. Welcome, good morning, beautiful. So I talk about all things that lead to intentional living. So again, spiritual freedom is one of the 7 freedoms that I journal on every single day on my daily vlogs. And so the other freedoms, the other areas of your life and your lifestyle that I speak about, that I help you balance, check in, support, raise your vibration, is contribution freedom on a Monday, health freedom on a Tuesday, environmental freedom on a Thursday. Did I say emotional freedom on Wednesday? Environmental freedom on Thursday, relationship freedom on Friday, spiritual freedom on Saturdays, and financial freedom on Sunday. And all of that stands for the intentional living codes, and an acronym that I say is Cheers to Financial Freedom, and the frequency of that. So the idea of using our spiritual journal is to support you in rising and residing at that Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency and being at the vibration that you wish to witness in the world. I don't think that it can get more spiritual than that. And so the spiritual freedom on a Saturday, the S of that acronym, is about bringing spirituality into all areas of your life. So back to Friday for relationships, it's spirituality in your environment, spirituality with your emotions, going with ease, grace, and flow. For your health, being nudged and guided, and for your contribution, and then for your finances on Sunday. So when you're using your spiritual journal, what I'd love for you to do is follow along, use whatever I say as a journal prompt, as a spiritual journal prompt, and have a look and see where your spiritual growth and evolution has been over this last week. Again, we check in every single week on spiritual freedom on the Soul Legacy TV, so you can come back again and again. If you were with me last week, then welcome back. I'm going to ask you to rate your vibrational frequency, how high vibe you feel, how connected you feel with your soul guidance every single day, but especially on spiritual freedom today. And so if you're with me last week, have a look at your rating for last week. Rate your spiritual freedom. It's the short abbreviation, rather than writing out spiritual freedom Saturday, is SFS and then equals. And the rating that we use is between a 1 and 11. 1 is soul funk. I'm getting all like caught up in this human visible world and being pushed and pulled. And 11 being guided by your North Star, going through that spiritual awakening, being aware, being spiritually awake AF, and looking at the world through the lens of your soul. So yes, we have a human experience, but we're guided by our soul. We're looking at the world, what I call, through the lens of our soul, perceiving the world through the lens of our soul. So it might, thank you for your comments. So oh, hi Tanya, how you doing, love? Good morning, beautiful. Thank you for joining me. So you're new. If you haven't seen any of my daily vlogs, or if you've seen a couple, today's Spiritual Freedom Saturday. And if you haven't got a notebook or a journal, grab something. So I talk about spiritual freedom as one of the 7 freedoms on the Soul Legacy TV to balance your light work and your lifestyle. I would love to know where you are in the world, what it is that you do. If you are a spiritual business owner, a light worker, and if you have a YouTube channel, because I would love to support you if you have. And so this journey is for light workers who really want to make a difference in the world, but also looking after yourself. And so again, if you missed it, I call this the Soul Legacy Journal. It's a notebook, and I call it 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story. It's a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So this is what I would have wanted when I was going on my early journey. So I decided to use my spiritual journal and share the process. So we'll rate our frequency for today. What I'll do is I'll pull a card. I have a card that I'll pull from Keepers of the Light. We talk about gratitude and chakras. Robin has the Energy Healing TV and podcast. So thank you, Robin, for joining us. So Robin is our lead soul guided instructor, 1 for my SoulLegacyAcademy.com and 2 for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, which I'm the producer of and the founder of. So thank you, Robin, for joining me. Robin, can you drop your ratings for today, love, and then give that as an example? So Toya, is it Toya? Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Give me a thumbs up if I am. So good morning. So Robin says, good morning, Toya. Yay. Happy to see you journaling with us. Hey, Coach Robin. Yeah, so you're in Robin's world. I saw, was it on the live? Was it yesterday? So Robin has the energy healing lifestyle, energy healing lifestyle, a system to support you in aligning your energy, clearing your energy, releasing any blocks, any traumas, cleansing, clearing any kind of resistance, and any kind of funk is what Robin says. I say soul funk, it's a soul flow. And Robin says if you've got gunk, we're going to dive deep and clear any energy that's blocking you from really making your difference in the world. So bringing that spiritual energy to every single area of your life looks and feels very different for everyone, but regardless of where you are on your journey, you're still, the practice is for me, for my spiritual freedom, is living in alignment, and also and aligning the chakras, obviously Robin does, but living from a place of flow and a place of guidance and a place of ease, grace and flow. That's what it feels like to me. And if it doesn't feel like that to you, then Robin will help you clear some blocks, clear resistance, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and align the 7 main chakras of the spine. And today in Robin's world, it is brow chakra or third eye chakra, right, Robin? Healing Saturdays. And so I'm going to have a look and make sure. And so the crystal for today that I've used, I got a little pouch of crystals because I had no idea about crystals, but and all chakras, and Robin's been teaching me. And so I bought these on Amazon when Robin did her 7 days to unblock your chakras challenge. And so Robin's got that challenge on the Energy Healing Lifestyle, Energy Healing TV podcast. So you can go there and watch it. I challenge you to actually clear and align and just learn about your energy and the flow and your thoughts and your beliefs and the symptoms of having an overactive, a blocked, or an imbalanced chakra. So I use this crystal. So I've just done a little bit of Ho'oponopono with my gratitude stone before I came on live. And so this amethyst crystal stands for trust, intuition, and spirituality. Obviously, it's like aligned for today. So Robin says, Tori says, yes. Hang on. Sometimes StreamYard does something weird with the comments. Tori says, yes, it was. I need you both. Boom. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. So Robin is modeling what we do for our rating for each day. So as my lead soul guide instructor, I say mine, but Robin's our lead soul guide instructor, and I have to learn to use that language. I feel like she's mine, but she's yours as well. She's like my soul sister, like one of my best friends now, and it's just really beautiful to have Robin in my world, supporting me, supporting my students, and for me, with the spirituality and the spiritual freedom and journaling in the process, um incorporating that energy healing is just beautiful. But I don't do that, so Robin does support you in doing that. And what we've done in recent weeks is we've journaled together on our YouTube channels. We've been journaling in private for years together, way before we met, and together. And so for my rating, we rate between a 1 and 11. I share about my rating on my 7-day spiritual vision board challenge. It's spiritual vision board for business for each of these areas. So if you haven't had a look at that on the Soul Legacy TV, click on the playlist and you'll get on to the next time when I do it live. I am going to do it live in the middle of July. I believe it's about the 11th of July, Monday to Saturday, every single area of your life. But usually I'll do it live on the second week in December. So annually, I want to hold you accountable for bringing more spirituality into your life by creating a vision for your life, being in vibrational alignment, and living in alignment with your values. And so when we have a vision, the universe, and we trust in it, trust in the process, believe in the process slowly, the universe will fill in what it is that we need, the people, the places, the guidance, all the things. And so when we don't know and we don't have the clarity on where we want to actually move in our life, how we want to contribute, how our health wants to be, how we want our health to be, our emotions, our environment, our relationships, our finances, then we feel more pushed and pulled by life. And so sometimes when we set a vision, resistance comes. So I will help you with the clarity, and Robin will help you with clearing any resistance to manifesting your vision. So Robin's written Spiritual Freedom Saturday is an 11. That's your rating. Yes. And then for brow chakra energy Saturdays, Robin's written an 8 for hers. So the brow chakra and third eye goes from written from a 1 to 11 as well. And it's just that check-in. Robin will explain how you just check in with your chakra and the energy of that, how you're vibrating as well. And so it's a really nice, just a really quick check-in. So what we do also is go back to last week. So if you weren't with me last Saturday for Spiritual Freedom Saturday, then you can check in with me next Saturday. And check in yourself. You don't have to be on the live to do that, but just know what you were vibing at, what your frequency was. Robin, is your rating up from last week or down? And I will have a look at my rating from last week. So today's 11, last week was 11. And for the brow chakra, I don't know if I wrote it down. It probably was an 11. I didn't write it down, Robin. I apologize. I might have written it in my other journal or my other notebook. I've written down your brow chakra. So today it's 11 as well. So I have an 11 and an 11 because for me, the guidance is just so strong. I listen to that guidance every single day. And I was listening to an Audible book. I listen to an Audible book every single day. Let me know if you listen to a book or watch something, read something that supports you every single day. So today the book was, and I'll talk about that in a second. Today the book was, again, by Sonia Choquette, Your Psychic Pathway, Listening to the Guiding Wisdom of Your Soul. And I'm saying that from memory, but I want to just double check because it's been a really beautiful book to share with you every single Saturday. So I'm going to do the quote for today, then I'm going to pull the card, and then we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether your rating's gone up, down, why it's gone up, why it's gone down, if it stayed the same. So glad you're here, Taya. My brow third eye chakra was getting overactive and unbalanced. Spiritual freedom is up from last week. Awesome. Cool. And Robin will talk about what that looks like to have it overactive and unbalanced. I feel like I'm probably mine is probably overactive, not even gonna lie, is what you'd call overactive, because it's just like, for me, It's the way I dance and the way I move. I feel like I've got a very fast brain. And when I had Reiki before, I had a friend and she fell over my head and she was like, wow. And Robin, you've done that for me as well. You're like, got that, it's like moving really fast. And it's that I don't know, there's just guidance, so downloads. Not everybody's used to that. And some people go, I don't want to be that high vibe. And it just feels really aligned to me. So I think mine is probably overactive all day, every day. So yeah, write that down in your spiritual journal, what you feel for your brow chakra, your third eye, and how high vibe you feel. If you feel low vibe today, between a 1 and 11, then that's okay. Note why. And then know what you can do, any spiritual practices that you haven't been doing, anything that you've dropped off with, anything that you have been doing. So Robin, if yours is overactive, and if any point you've gone to overactive, obviously you do this on your channel, but it's like just remembering, sometimes it's a nice reminder to say, what have I done differently? And so yeah, if it's gone down, what have I done differently this week? Is there anything that is pushing and pulling me? Hey Jennifer, how you doing? Gorgeous. How are you? Jennifer says, good morning. I'm feeling off today. Woke up late for work, small headache. It's going up, just jamming to the music. Rating is at a 6 right now. So Jennifer, you're like this master at recognizing where you are and knowing that you don't have to stay there. And I love the way that your vibration raises and you and identifying. And I don't know if you did this before you came to the spiritual journal with me, but I noticed that in the morning, and I call it launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day. So I love how you segment, like if the morning isn't going the way that you want it to go, it doesn't mean to say that you have to lead your day in that soul funk. And it doesn't mean to say you have to leave your day. So if you think of your day, every single day, launching your day. So if it didn't go like as high vibe as you'd like it, how did I launch my day? How do I like to launch my day? What sets me up for the day? How do I lead my day? What do I do in my day that really fuels me? And how do I leave my day? Whether that's meditation, that's journaling, that's visualization out in nature, incorporating that into as many days of the week as you can, even if it's little tiny snippets of things. And that's how I like to bring more spirituality into my work. That's how I like to release, unclog, unwind. I'll go out in nature. I'm not someone who kind of escapes my day, because I've created my day now with this intentional living and the 7 freedoms. So let me read today's quote because I love it. Robin says, yes, I remember that. You are like, leave it alone. Yeah, it's how I move. Yeah, I was like, yes, don't fuck with my vibe. Just leave it alone. Yeah, stop. Because when I was going through a spiritual ascension and I didn't know what that was, and I was having loads and loads of ascension symptoms, and it felt like I was unplugged, which you do sometimes when you go through the dark night and all the things. And that's why I call it a spiritual awakening journal, because it's your journey, right? So sometimes you unplug. I literally felt like it unplugged, and I was like, what the actual heck? Because it felt like I was more in the human and making decisions human. And I'm going to talk about this in the book, making decisions from the human, not as connected. And I was like, my daughter just said good morning via text, bless her. Yeah, it felt like I was more in the human, and I was like, I know that I only made, like, in this physical body, am not about to do all of what I do alone. That is what I felt. I was like, have you left me? I was like, holy heck, I'm screwed now, because I'm so guided. And people say to me, oh, Iona, you're amazing, or you and I go, I don't really feel like I can take as much credit as probably what you think. I'm just always getting these downloads and this guidance. It just feels like a pure connection to me, and so a stream. And so when I get the nudges, I'm like, My ex used to say, like, you've gone out on a run and then you've come back and you're like literally writing all the stuff down. And he just would sit next to me, we'd have dinner or what have you, and he'd just watch me, he'd just go, and I'd get whatever I need. He's like, you done? I think so. like just sauce. I love it. So yeah, I was like, don't mess with it. So Robin says good morning. So this is today's quote. So every day, Toya, I read a quote from my Momentum app. And the Momentum app is when I open my Mac laptop, I used to have it on my desktop till my desktop died, right? I was like, but this Momentum app is a Chrome browser. It's a free browser. I'm not affiliated with them. I just love to start my day like this if I'm in the office. And if I'm not in the office, I run up and go get the quote and then come back down and share it with you. So it helps me to just anchor in before I start my work, just really positive words that helps me raise my vibration and just set the intention to move into my work. On my spiritual vision board challenge, I talk about segment intending from Abraham Hicks, where it's every area, everything that you do through the day. So when you're waking up, you segment intending yourself from out of bed into your day, or I'm segment intending like setting the energy flow forth before you move into that thing. So I did Ho'oponopono with the amethyst crystal and the gratitude stone before I came on live. So everything that you're doing, you're just moving into it with grace. So this is how I move into my working day, with grace. So the Momentum app has a beautiful picture on it of whatever around the world, then a little quote, then it asks you what's the one thing that you're going to focus on. Then it has your to-dos that were listed from whenever. So you're always just know what you're going to do. You set that intention for that day, what to work on. So I'm never confused. And then it has links and stuff. So this was the quote. And I always say that because like it's a reminder. And I shared that on my VIP day. It's like, it gives, there's lots of people that come to me and they go, I don't even know what to do today. It's like, listen, you've got to get so laser focused. Listen to that guidance, focus on the thing, follow all the way through to the end, because that's what we have problems with. But there's the focus, there's the tasks that you need to do. Don't jump from creative idea to creative idea. It's really easy to do that and get lost and get nowhere. So this is the quote for today. It's by an unknown person. And it's really simple. It says, a wet person does not fear the rain. What does that mean to you guys? And you can write it down in your journal as a spiritual journal prompt. A wet person does not fear the rain. And you think other people's words are there's like wisdom and nuggets. A wet person does not fear the rain. For me, that's like, I'm already wet, so I can dance in the rain, right? That's like, I'm accepting where I am, what is. I like, if I was dry or if I had my best clothes on and somebody said go out and dance in the rain, or if people have just done their makeup, done their hair, got their best outfit, about to go somewhere, it's like, I'm not going out in that rain. But if you really didn't care much, or you're really like, I can get dry, I can have towels, I can have the house warm inside, you're prepared. It's like children when they jump in the muddy puddles and you don't think that they're prepared to jump in the muddy puddles. They don't care what they've got on. But if you put like wellies, it's like, go on, jump in the puddles, dance in the rain. But that's just like, you know what? Just take the layers and the barriers off and the resistance and just go with life. Just dance with it. Just dance in rain. I remember the first time dancing in warm rain, because I'm in the UK, so the rain's cold, right? It was in the Caribbean when I was 8 years old. It was raining and I saw people like out in the rain. I'm like, what are they doing? They'd not seen, a lot of people in the Caribbean my family had not seen snow. And they were dancing in the rain, just free. And I was like, what are they doing? And I didn't realize, I don't think, just how the contrast of the rain in England, it's cold, and there it was warm. It's like, how it feels like a shower. It felt beautiful. Robin says, good morning, Jennifer. I'm sure you've seen that already. Jennifer says, hello, Robin. Music lights me up and you lovely ladies. LOL tapped. I'm going to talk about the spiritual freedom and the playlist that I sent you today, Jennifer. Robin says, direct connection with source. Exactly. And Jennifer says, yes, I love that. Thank you, loves. So the next thing I want to do is pull a card for today, right? And then I'm going to talk about the book, and then I'm going to talk about gratitude, and then we're going to finish with a bank 50K in 50 days challenge, which is, I feel like it's the most spiritual way to actually think about money and feel about money, and trying that on. I love it. So this is going to be a card from Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. Every single day I pull a card, and today we always get the message that we need to get. So Robin says, exactly same for me. Almost like the worst already happened, so might as well make the best of it. No stress, no fear, no worries. Go for it. Dancing in the rain. Yeah, exactly. It's just beautiful. I can see it. I can see the 8-year-old version of me dancing in the rain. It was beautiful. It was like so freeing and liberating. It's like, you can do this, like giving yourself permission. I'd like to dance in warm rain rather than cold rain, but I would do. I remember like a bucket list item, and it was to kiss it under the stars, but it was with my mates, with my twin flame. And I don't know, for whatever reason, we were going to do it that night, and it happened to be raining. My daughter sat here, and we got like coats on and stuff, and it's like we only went out in the garden, and my daughter's like, "Are you for real? Are you actually going to do that?" It's like, yeah, it's a bucket list item. I don't know, put whatever you want on your bucket list. It's just sweet. So this card is faith. So it says humanity and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. I love this card. So faith, I'm going to read out what the meaning is, right? I believe it's like a little pot. Can you see that? So trust the good in yourself and others and see the light in the world. I've really been tested with that over my journey, over what I call the dark decade of the soul. Don't even know what somebody means by the dark night of the soul. It was literally a dark decade. And so the guidance that I have is for me, and it's for those that are around me. And so today when I woke up, I was thinking of Jennifer. We had a group VIP day after my masterclass. And so all of the ideas that people have, it kind of, they just percolate. And so I was like, oh, I just woke up with loads of ideas, and I've created a playlist. If you're in the Soul Legacy Academy and you are in my 5-day challenge, or if you're just in my world in general, I've had a call with you. I usually create a playlist, and I'll be creating more. And I was like, if there's anything that ideas come to mind, they kind of come through me. That's one of the reasons why I created my Abraham Hicks playlist for spiritual freedom. For every single day, actually. I'm going to put those on the Soul Legacy TV. And I was like, oh, this idea, that idea, that idea. And I was just like, it was downloaded. And I was like, hey, Jennifer, here's the playlist. I haven't watched all of them, all the videos that were on YouTube. Just the spark, the seeing the light in the world and seeing the light that you guys can bring. That energy comes through me in my work as the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. I believe I'm an earth angel for Soul Legacy leavers, and when I say that, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you launch and lead your soul legacy, and I just believe that I'm here as that, bridging that gap to you doing that, and I love it. So whatever way that comes, it comes. I'm going to read the card in a second. Robin says, it's funny to reflect. I remember hearing, get out of the rain when I was a kid. Yeah, get in and get out of the rain. You're going to get wet. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I did that to my kids too, probably. Again, it's raining. Maybe. I don't know if I did. I'll have to ask my daughter. Maybe at appropriate times, or what have you, what I considered appropriate times. I don't know. I was quite free-flowing with my kids, but yeah, get out of the rain. And that desperate, like, is acid or something. Like that fear. There's no need for it, is there? See, just starting my day, just reading somebody else's words, it sparks off a conversation in my mind, a positive conversation that shifts my perspective and the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs that I've been told. And so, excuse me. So this card says, faith is the archangel who is focused on bringing out our benevolence. So Robin, I know that you had a card speaking on this. She is a twin flame of Archangel Michael and is on a divine mission to help us recognize that humans are basically good and aligned with love. Just like her name, she is all about faith and trust. Do you have faith? Do you have faith, and do you trust? And it might sound weird, like, why are you stopping to ask me that? But for me, when I was working a soul-sucking day job and not doing what I'm doing now, and I finished my job, like working for someone else. I was cleaning homes, right? Working for myself, self-employed, but I was finished cleaning homes. And the day that I left my soul-sucking day job was, and I got in the car, my ex picked me up, my twin flame picked me up, and we looked at the clock and it said 13:33. And we're both like, oh my gosh. And I looked it up and it was an angel, the mirror numbers, and the angel that's related to faith. And I cannot remember what his name was. And I was like, having faith and trusting. Well, that was it must be 4 years ago. I don't know, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, probably 3.5 years ago. And I'm doing what I'm doing. None of what I'm doing now existed in the form that it does, but I trusted that I'd be speaking with you. So do you have faith, and do you have trust, and do you have faith in some areas of your life and not in others? Do you trust that things will work out for you? Do you have that faith? I'd love to know. Yes, no, you don't have to write all of it down, but you can write it in your spiritual journal. You know. And you do need to have that trust and that faith for it to manifest and have those experiences. So just like her name, she's all about truth and trust. She reminds us that the world has taught us to believe that we are separate from love, separate from the rain, right? And that if we begin to see the good in others, then we start to cultivate a loving experience of the world around us. And I believe that this has come in for me and it's come in for you. And so just looking at the world through the lens of your soul, it's not always easy. And I believe that I'm doing this more and more. I'm not perfect at it. I will say. Extended message: stay calm and breathe. And Robin likes to say, breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just use your breath. You are a divine being of love who has done so much good in the world. Do you recognize how much good you've done today? Like whatever age you are. I'm 49 this year. I was going to say I'm 49 already. 49 this year. Do you recognize how much good you've done as a light worker, spiritual business owners, paid or unpaid? Do you acknowledge how much good you've done? Other people will have probably told you, but do you acknowledge? Do you sit in that? Use that as your spiritual journal prompt for today, and just how the universe has supported you to do that good and led you, and the nudges. Then we will start to cultivate a loving experience of the world around us. Extended message: stay calm and breathe. You are a being of love who has done so much good in the world. You may be going through personal transformations and feel that you're not getting anywhere, but Archangel Faith is drawing close to guide you beyond the limitations of your ego or guiding you close to beyond the limitations that your ego or fears have created for you. Ego and fears. Yeah. You may be trying to work out whom to trust. First, trust yourself. And when you do this and recognize that you are made of love, you will attract those who reflect that love and can enjoy true friendships and loving relationships. Know that there is good here to stay. Now, I've been doing this over the last month since this was pulled, because I was just like, it didn't feel completely like I was able to own those words. And the more that I've been reaching back out to my co-authors for the Soul Legacy Journal and getting this journey back on track. And if you don't know, I've got a co-author book series sharing about your spiritual awakening stories, right? And so I had to pause the book series, I do all the things, do all the journaling, do all the blah, 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 setting up on the back end so I could really support my co-authors. And I'm reaching out and I'm being met and received with so much love. Like it astounds me. I'm so grateful. So if you're listening to this and you know who you are, thank you so much, because I did trust in myself. However, when you put yourself out there, is that trust and that love and that having faith that it will all work out, and it is working out for us. It's big. It's big. So hang on. Toy says, please do. And the journal. Okay, are you speaking to Robin or me? I don't even know. Let me know. Robin says, thank you, though, love. So I talk for a long time, and then sometimes if I don't check the comments, I'm like, what did I say again? I don't watch my lives anymore, but I used to, and I'm like, that's what I said. I don't know. Robin says, having faith. Oh, you do have faith? Robin says, having faith and trust and staying in that space of faith and trust can be different or difficult. Those times my humanness wants to take control and micromanage my experience. And so what do you do in that space? Robin, I know that you are led and on your channel, but I'd love for you to explain what you actually do in those moments, because I think it's really important. I do have that faith and I do trust. I walk my talk is how I end up having my faith. My faith and my trust gets stronger, and I'll talk about that in the book that I've been listening to today. And there's external voices that I use to support me. It's in a book, it's in a card, it's in a quote, it's in, do you know what I mean? Even though I'm not necessarily surrounding myself with lots of people every single day, even if you're on your own, what you choose to do for your daily spiritual practices, which I do here, and I'm speaking and I'm setting that every word that I speak has energy, right? And so that trust and that faith comes from showing up, speaking out, and serving deep and doing the thing. I say doing the F-bomb thing, because our mind will take us out if we let it, and if we look at the past and we dwell on it, or we don't trust. And for our spiritual vision to manifest, it's sitting in that space of ease, grace, and flow. And if we've got fear and ego running the show, that is not a space of ease, grace, and flow. And so because we separate our life, our light work, and our lifestyle with the 7 freedoms, we're going to know that you align the 7 energies with the 7 freedoms. But because we align that and we break down contribution and health and emotions and environment and spirituality and finances and relationships, we can say, okay, well, if I don't have trust, say, around my finances, it's not about my relationships. Or if I don't have trust around my health or whatever it is, that's not about my work in the world. We can actually separate our life and just be really mindful of where we don't have that trust and where we don't have that faith, rather than thinking it's everything, it's all or nothing. We can say, oh, okay, well, it's just here, this little tweak, and that little tweak in the vibration on one area will absolutely elevate and help you to raise your vibration in another area. So hopefully that makes sense. Jennifer says, yes, exactly how I felt doing my art. Okay, cool. Toya says the playlist and your journal. Okay, cool. I will do the thank you. The Abraham Hicks playlist. So I do the Abraham Hicks playlist for every single day. And so if I'm not doing something that requires recording, I'll listen to my Audible book for the day. And over this last few weeks, I've just listened to a snippet. Before I'd go out on my walk and I'd listen to a lot, but when I go out on my run, I'm listening to music these days. So I love that. So anything that raises my vibration. So the Abraham Hicks playlist, I've actually separated it and I've given it to my students for their Bank 50k in 50 days challenge as we do this vibrationally. So the Bank 50k in 50 days challenge is about us being the best version of ourselves and bringing that spirituality into money. So I'll talk about that at the end and give you the challenge. This Soul Legacy journal, my journal, is a magical journal that gives you vibrational money. So the book that I listened to today, again, is by an author called Sonia Choquette. Do you guys know Sonia Choquette? She's a Hay House author, I believe. Robin says, in the moment I noticed it stop, in the moment I notice it, I stop, take a breath, breathe. I breathe, lean into spirit and intentionally review my situation. Ask my human if it's fear holding me back, or if so, then I trust and move anyway. Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, that was long. had to reword it so it wouldn't get cut off in the chat box. Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it? I think I got it right. So in the moment, so you use this as a note, if you're not trusting or if you're not leaning into that faith, and you will be required in living an intentional life and having more freedom, have the vision for freedom for yourself, live in alignment with your values for freedom, and raise your vibration. So that's what intentional living means for me. Yes, there's a vibration of love and empowerment and joy and knowledge at the higher vibration. For me, it's freedom. I see my life for each area as freedom, right? I see the freedom, the values, and I've just got a notification to say go on my walk or jog. And then I live in alignment with that vibration. It's beautiful. It's just really quick and really easy. So if I'm not in that, so Robin says in those moments I start. So you can say you just stop, like literally stop, like you're all over or just getting sucked in or maybe responsive, or Robin often says snarky, like snarky comments, I want to react, and stop and then just take a breath, like literally, and breathe. It is beautiful. And take a few breaths if you need to, and then lean into spirit, whether you close your eyes and intentionally review your situation, like what is happening, what is going on, what have I just said, who's around me, how do I want to move forward in this moment, and ask my human self, whether you ask out loud, you ask in your journal, you just ask yourself, is this fear that's holding me back? Is this fear that's running this situation? Is it all programming? Is it all thought or an old belief? And if it is, Robin will support you in that. And if so, I trust and move anyway. And trust that whatever voice is going on in the side of your head, whatever you're speaking, you can choose to have a new thought and a new feeling, and move anyway. Robin says literally, yeah, just stop. Sometimes, have you ever felt like, and then all of a sudden you're like, or when, say, a certain situation comes up and that would have you go, before, and then you kind of, it's laughable because you've grown and you've up leveled. So when you grow and you up level and you use your journal, and you journal it out and you notice your thoughts and your feelings, it's like, oh really? I've seen you do that, Robin, on your lives. Just almost laugh, like, oh my goodness, was that really me? Because it's not really you, it's the humanness. We're souls having a human experience, and we're just here to learn and evolve and grow and have contrast and all the things, as Robin says, no blame, shame or guilt, right? Robin says, and ask for the guidance and pay attention to what you think and hear. So that's what I'm going to talk about today in the book. So thank you, Robin, for that beautiful segue. Robin says that's a part of leaning into spirit. Thank you, spirit. I got it. Thank you, love. So Sonia Choquette, again, I just, people have done the things that we want to do. So this is a book called Your Psychic Pathway, listening to the guiding wisdom of your soul. And so today's snippet, can't remember what chapter it is. I think I wrote it down. Chapter 2. Sonia Choquette says, I talk about looking at the world through the lens of your soul. And Robin says, looking at the world through the eyes of source. And Sonia Choquette says, perceiving through soul. Basically same things with soul, right? So she says about listening to your intuition. So I know that you guys are very intuitive. You've been intuitively guided here, right? We've been guided together. That's fine. However, sometimes we don't necessarily trust it and listen to it and act on it. We might second guess it. So do listen to your intuition. And I know that the instinct would say yes, but that's that trust, right? That trust in that, and that faith is listening to your intuition and acting on it. So she talks a lot about that in this chapter. And so she says, listening to that voice that wants to, your soul that wants to enter your life to support you. And so it helps you to make decisions. It influences your decisions if you allow it to, and you use it as a guiding marker. So I say, soul guided influencers. So there's lots of influencers out there. So when you want to build your spiritual business and you want to do it online and you want to do it on YouTube, do you want to become an influencer? Do you want to be guided? Do you want to be a soul guided influencer? There needs to be more soul guided influencers, in my opinion, on the planet. So that's why I hold space for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers network. And so she says it supports, it becomes a support system for your awareness to develop the relationship between you, your humanness, and your soul. And so one of the first times that I realized that I was listening to that, and I was doing it today as I was listening to the book and as I was coming on to my live, is head nodding. I don't know if you've seen me do it, head nodding. I'm listening to somebody and I'm interviewing or I'm doing whatever, I'm head nodding to the point of my head feels like it's really going to rock off. And sometimes I feel my body swaying. But I remember the first time I really heard my head nodding is when I first went to coach training school. They were talking and my head was like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, just something in me. I'm listening, I'm hearing, I'm getting the guidance, I get the goosebumps, I get all angel bumps, people say, all the things. Just listen to that guiding intuition if something feels like a yes or something feels like a no. And you'll use it. And so one of the things that I used was a muscle test as well. That when I tested, it was like, do I want to do what I'm doing? Is this for me? And it was absolutely a yes. And I haven't looked back since. So Jennifer says, I listened to, oh, I can't remember, Maraj, no, that's not Maraji, is it? Oh, I can't remember his name. I can't pronounce that. Neil Donald Walsh, probably that is, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I do that stop and breathe with the kids a lot, teach them this too. Awesome. Love that, Jennifer. Love that you teach the kiddos. Yeah. And that's when I realized, when I was sending you the playlist, that's what I envisioned. I know that you were talking about that and you do it naturally. And so one of the things that when we follow our intuition, we follow our intuition for our light work, right? And a lot of people that come into my world feel like they have to be someone else to be on camera. They have to be someone else or do something else to build a spiritual business. No, you've gone through your spiritual awakening. You've developed a spiritual ascension process, what you use for you, and you alchemize that by showing up, speaking out, and serving deep, and gifting that pathway to others, to your soul tribe, your soul family, and your soul clients. And it doesn't have to be as difficult as what we make it. Other people don't know all the things that you know, right? And so that's what that's what I was guided to today for you. Muji, I can't remember. Muji, it's not, I don't know if that's the guy that I'm thinking of, a black guy on YouTube. Muji, I don't think his name's spelled differently. That's what I'm thinking of. Right, so with vision, values, and vibrations, I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to do gratitude, then we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. Is that cool for you guys? Hopefully this has helped you in raising your vibration. So one of the things I do is I say gratitude, which you guys know, and Robin also says gratitude. The way that we bring gratitude into the 7 freedoms, into spiritual freedom today, but into every single day of our life, because we always want to be expressing gratitude. Jennifer says he's my go-to to pull me out of my head. Yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, exactly. We use what we need to use to go, yeah, to raise our vibration. So this is my gratitude stone. My daughter gave me it when she was little. She's 19 now. So we used to say gratitude every single day. I've said it with partners as well. So I say it out loud or I write it down. I used to write it down more. I say it out loud now because I can't usually read my writing. It doesn't matter as long as you're feeling the feeling. Excuse me. Robin says, I'll be back for the replay. Love you all. Oh, thank you, Robin. My nose is itchy. That's one of the things as well. I've got a soul sister who says that her nose ends up being itchy. So the way that I say gratitude, I know you're familiar with gratitude, but for the intentional living codes and the spiritual journal, and the Soul Legacy journal, I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. It's just things that I've learned from Abraham and other teachers. And the vibration of being happy and grateful and appreciating. We're not just being happy, we're not just being grateful, we're appreciating as well. All the things, right? And so I like to say for 7 things or more, but at least 7 things. And so we bring in the other freedoms to every single day. Spiritual Freedom Saturday today. But we bring this spiritual element and this energy every single day for intentional living. And again, the intentional living codes is the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, that acronym. So C is for contribution freedom, H is for health freedom. So you say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for your contribution freedom in your light work and your lifestyle. I'm happy and I'm grateful. So you can write this down as a spiritual journal prompt. I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate something for your health, something for your emotions, something for your environment, something for your relationships, something for, and if you've got to be grateful and you're happy about more things and appreciate more things, more people, then write them down. It's absolutely fine. You do you, whatever you need to do. Something for your spirituality, being guided this last week or today, and then your finances as well. Even if your finances are not the way that you want them to be, because we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. If you're struggling, you can think of some things that you're happy and you're grateful and you appreciate in the past, in the present, or in the predicted future, like a thanks in advance. So if you've done the spiritual vision board journal, spiritual vision board with me, we've broken down each of these areas of your life. You've got a real clear vision of what freedom looks like to you, what your values are like in this area, and what vibrational frequency that you need to emit as you do your spiritual journal in order for that to manifest. Before it manifests, for it to manifest, in order for it to manifest, whatever is on your spiritual vision board, whatever vision you want to manifest for each of these areas, you've got to feel the feeling. And it's not about chasing it. It's about being grateful and noticing and saying thank you to the universe. And thank you for just being here and breathing, just as simple as that. So I'm not going to do mine. So Toya says, thank you so much. I feel I woke up early for a reason. Do you know what? That lights me up. Toya, you don't yet maybe know I'm a crier. So like just touching one person is like one person at a time, right? Is just like, it feels, that's why I do what I do. So I'm not someone, I've got a big vision, don't get me wrong. And on the Soul Legacy TV, my vision is to reach 100,000 subscribers. So I've got my eye on the prize, but every single one, every single person, just having that connection and that soul to soul. And that's what I teach, connecting soul to soul and the spirituality of being guided by our souls together as soul family. So welcome to the soul family, or welcome back to the soul family, the soul sisterhood, soul brotherhood. It's just beautiful. I love it. I literally love it. So let's do the Bank 50K in 50 days. Hopefully that helped. So the Soul Legacy Journal is a magical journal. This is the notebook version. And so it gives you, I don't give you it, the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros in soul client income. So I call this the soul income game. And so basically it's a way of having fun with money, and it's a way of having fun with moving from a poverty consciousness and energy of lack to a prosperity consciousness and energy of abundance and feeling prosperous, having the version of you, say, right now, if you're not banking 50K in 50 days, and it's like, oh, why would I want to bank 50K in 50 days? Because we're going to tithe, and we want to come from the energy of everything's taken care of, everything's created, everything's done for us. And so as spiritual business owners, as light workers, oftentimes this is the biggest thing that we get stuck on is money, right? So Robin has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge, and she calls it a self-love journey to financial freedom. And if you are in my world, if you're in my boot camp, then I gift Robin's, I cover the investment for Robin's boot camp because it just aligns. Robin's 7-day challenge, sorry, it just aligns with everything that I do. So just watch out if you've been thinking, oh, I want to get Robin's 5-day chat money blocks challenge. We merge our stuff together, so we support you. So we want to support our students and save you that investment. So I gift it as a bonus, and Robin gifts my stuff as a bonus as well. So the Soul Legacy Journal in this game, Bank 50K in 50 days, I challenge you to use your Soul Legacy Journal as a prompt to make memories with this $1,000, pounds, or euros. So wherever you are, I'm in the UK, so mine is pounds. So wherever you are, you spend your vibrational money voucher, And it was inspired by Abraham Hicks's Prosperity Game and by a Prosperity Consciousness book by Frederick Lerman. But I'd forgotten, I actually listened to the tape of this, a version of this years ago, like actual cassette tapes. And I was like, and I've got the Audible book now. And I was like, oh my God, he talked about this. So we spend our vibrational money voucher, we create our vision board. If you haven't yet, you can create your vision board with me. And then instead of waiting for it all to manifest, we do it now. We go on a spending spree every single day if you want to. If you don't feel like you've got a lot of time to spend the money, each day you can carry over the balance to the next day and the next day, just to Sunday. And Sunday is, which is tomorrow, is Financial Freedom Sunday. If you don't feel like spending your money, but you know that you've banked it, you've got it, the Soul Legacy Journal's got it. If there's something that comes up, not your bills, I want you to come from the space that all your bills are taken care of. If there's something that comes up that you want to purchase, spend your vibrational money voucher. Let the universe know that you're in alignment with receiving that experience, that memory. It's not about the money, it's about using the money to have the experiences that you want to have in life, and not being pushed and pulled by saying no to the things that you want to experience for your family, for you, launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy. So every single day we spend our vibrational money voucher. I tend to spend my vibrational money voucher on a Sunday. So I bank it all up. I tithe 10% every single day to a worthy cause, and that's a requirement. So you've got £1,000, tithe 10%, so you've got like 900 left over to a worthy cause. And I tithe to what I call is Cruise Bereavement Care, because I dedicate my work to my son, and Cruise Bereavement Care helped me 7 years ago when my son made his transition, 12 days before his 20th birthday. Ruth, who's a friend of mine now, I'm eternally grateful. I was like, somebody come and help me before the walls cave in on me. I was so fortunate that the walls didn't cave in on me, because she came and she sat on my couch every single week. She sat here with me, and every time I talk about it, I can literally see her. She was sat here and I was sat over that side of my couch, and she just spoke to me, and she helped me through it. I've never had counseling, I've never had all the things, but it's Cruise Bereavement Care. I just really, honestly, she was just so amazing. She was an empath. She told me that I was an empath. I was like, I was interviewing somebody and they said they were talking about being an empath, and I'd never heard of it. And I said, I had somebody on my summit, my 49 Soul Speaker Summit, talking about being an empath. And she's like, yeah, I know you are. And I was like, oh, really? Just so many things. She is so divine. She's beautiful. She does counseling. She does jewelry making. She's so creative. So of all the people that I could have in my world, she's a ghostwriter. She does loads of stuff. It was Ruth. And then when I did a meetup group called Gifted to Shine, after, because there's a period of time, so we did become friends over the years after that kind of journey like ended and that cycle completed. And so we had a meetup called Gifted to Shine, and she came and she co-hosted it with us. She's just beautiful. She's a beautiful soul. So thank you so much. So that is the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. If you want to do it beyond doing it vibrationally, I invite you to my masterclass. Tonya, I don't know if you've seen my masterclass. And again, Jennifer, thank you for coming on my masterclass. So I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, and I want to support you in launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. So I have the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass live every single month on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. I have bonus gifts. You can actually watch the masterclass and the replay. It's on the Soul Legacy TV as well. But I have bonus gifts in the Soul Legacy Academy for you to support you in getting ready to bank 50K in 50 days. I have homework to help you do your own maths. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on Financial Freedom Sunday. So if you have a spiritual business and you want to learn how to speak to, serve, and sign up, what I call high-paying one-to-many soul clients, then I'm going to share all of the teachings with you. It's a 4-hour training. Block out 5 hours, because the last one was 5 hours and 40 minutes. I've got to try and condense it down, but I find it really hard because I share all the things. So I invite you to come to that, share it out, invite a fellow soul sister, soul brother in. What else do I have? I have my free chapter of my book. It's called The Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch. a soul guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. This is me doing the thing, living the book. And the book is on pre-order right now until the 6th of May 2023. So you can get it for 99 cents or 78 pence, I think. And support the launch of the book. I have book launch videos as I write the book. You'll see that on the Soul Legacy TV. And the book went to #1 on Amazon, so #1 best-selling book. I'm a 4-time best-selling author with co-author book series, so I have my own co-author book series I'll share on the masterclass. So I'd love your support. I also have the #1 Spiritual Awakening annual YouTube summit, where I interview fellow YouTubers, spiritual YouTubers, on their spiritual awakening story and their journey. We have the Spiritual Ascension after show party and the Spiritual Alchemy giveaway. So that is a lot. Everything spiritual awakening, everything launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy. But that's for me, that's for you, that's for my guests. That's what we're here for. That's what I see the Soul Legacy Academy. Launching, leading, and leaving our soul legacy really comes from awakening and managing that dark night of the soul experience, coming out on the other side, going through our own ascension and our own alchemy journey. So thank you so much. And thank you, Jennifer. I know I see your comments when I go off. I'm like, I just see the last one. So I would say big love. Thank you so much for spending this hour with me. We will be back next Saturday for Spiritual Freedom Saturdays. Definitely come back. Let me know how you're bringing spirituality into your business and in your light work and your lifestyle. Tomorrow is Financial Freedom Sunday. I'd love you to join me. Share this out. Subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV if you haven't. I know that you guys have. Click the like button for this video because it helps with the algorithms. And click the notification button on the playlist for the Spiritual Journal with me, and you will be notified when I go live. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Robin, thank you for coming back on the replay. Big love. I shall see you very, very soon. Take care.